Greetings and salutations, everybody. It's David Duford here at DeFord Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. Thanks so much for watching. So today I've got a friend in the business, Mr. Nelson Lee, here today to tell us about his exciting new product called the iLife. Nelson, tell us how you're doing today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me here, David. We're doing great here at iLife. We're really excited to introduce a product to you and your team members. And shall we jump right in?
Yeah, jump right in. So just share your screen. And what we're going to do, guys, is kind of walk through what the iLife product is, how it works, why you should be interested in it, how it's going to help your insurance business. And what we're going to do really is just basically an under the hood review of how the product works so that you can see for yourself how much value this could possibly provide. So Nelson, as you share that screen, feel free to go ahead and do that now. As you jump on and screen share with us, tell us more about what exactly iLife is all about.
Yeah, so iLife is an insurtech platform that's meant for agents and brokers have an easier time going online, grow their revenue online, have a turnkey solution that can let their customers have a digital experience in browsing hundreds of thousands of different top life insurance policies with a live chat, CRM, and electronic health record syncing all attached in one simple software interface. And on top of all that, um, it can be branded. So, for example, in our partnership with David, everything is going to say David, as you see later in the client experience. So we are really meant to act a little bit like Shopify and WordPress in that we build this really cool digital experience for you within seconds. Instead of having you hire an IT team, spend a lot of dollars building this, we know you need to get up and running, you need to grow, so we make that a priority.
Cool. And who are you in your experience so far seeing as like an ideal prospect as far as an agent goes? What kind of agent would be a good fit for the iLife
Yeah.
program?
So currently we're seeing 2 to 3 types of agents really succeeding with this product. In general, agents who are obviously excited and open to prospecting online. A lot of times outside their personal network, and a lot of times our users tell us being able to grow our business and revenue outside the immediate network is really exciting. And for the first time, they have a conversion tool to do that. So the first with that prerequisite, the first set of people that really succeed are people who have been selling or have had some experience selling life insurance in the past, and they're experts in this field. They know how the sales process works, so they can really take advantage over their competitors over a compressed sales cycle, reducing product data turnarounds from a week to 2 weeks to about 6 to 7 seconds.
That's
um,
fantastic. Yeah, and the more instant the gratification with this stuff, the better, right?
exactly. And David, in the age we live in, the more instant gratification the better for the customers, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And the second type of agents and brokers that we see succeeding a lot are are agents who may or may not have sold a lot of life insurance, but they have an existing group of customers probably buying either other types of insurance or other types of financial products. So we're seeing PNC brokers, commercial insurance brokers. We're seeing wealth managers selling mutual funds, all having a lot of success because with this new technology that we'll walk through in a minute, all they really need is a customer list of emails, and they can blast it through an email blast. They can even send it through text. And just let the customers know, hey, this is my new online storefront, and I will be servicing you personally still, but you can browse my storefront anytime you want from anywhere with hundreds of thousands of options. And just we can zoom only when you feel comfortable, only when you feel like there was enough browsing done.
So it's cool in the sense that it gives the agent who's maybe not focused on life insurance a potential new stream of income, right? Because as we'll walk through here, so much of that grunt labor that agents have to do with life insurance is really handled completely by this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, traditionally in the past, if you're a commercial or PNC agent, not specialized sell life, you would be kind of resistant to expanding your product line into life because a lot of times that entails, going door to door, maybe literally, putting on a suit and a briefcase, and maybe start selling first of all to your friends and family. That a lot of times that's not a super attractive and easy way to start. But instead of doing that, if you're running more really like an e-commerce shop, and your job to expand this product line is simply to just promote your digital storefront, which is an Amazon experience, it's a cheaper and faster way to expand your product line. It is a super easy way to cross sell too.
Cool. What's the third group you had in mind? Be a good fit for this?
Yeah, the third group of people that we're seeing that's interesting are people who haven't really sold much insurance of any kind in the past, but they're great marketers, and they see a software like this, and
Mm.
they get thinking, right? It's like, so the role of the insurance agent in the digital age is really to promote your online presence. Well, if I'm great at online marketing, I'm great at promoting myself. Um, I can succeed. I don't need necessarily a huge Rolodex of wealthy people anymore. And we're seeing that type of category, although it is currently the smallest category, but we're seeing new faces coming into the industry.
Great. So why don't you go ahead and start walking us through how this thing works?
Yeah, absolutely. So David, the screen that you see here right now is what you would see upon first logging into the software as a broker agent. So it's very simple. Our core functionality is actually condensed all into one simple link highlighted here. And your digital storefront upon logging in is set up within seconds of this link. There's no API. There's no IT personnel needed. There's no IT budget needed. All you need to do is super simple. You go to my profile, you tell us your basic information like name, state, and here's a really cool photo of David, great photo here, carriers that you can sell with on our platform, most importantly, branding information for your company, right? So we have your logo here, domain name, we can put any subdomain here, like a Zoom enterprise account. So here let's just put a placeholder company name.ilife.tech. You can have your own disclaimer, whatever you or your legal feel comfortable, and your welcome message. And once that's good to go, you're online, and it's probably been less than a minute, and all the traffic that comes to your link is tracked here. So you can see the location, the source, whether they click from a blog, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything's here in an enterprise view. You can add your
So
agent.
you can see where your traffic's coming from. You can track it back to maybe where that blog post or that social media post where the most interest was, to kind of give you a kind of a data driven idea of what's performing best and where is the interest coming from. That's cool.
Exactly, exactly. Because you're a busy broker agent, and the last thing you want is have to navigate through a different tab, a different login into Google Analytics or Hotjar, right? So let's skip through all the CRM and traffic attribution and jump right into the client experience that you now have within a minute of signing up. So let's just, a common use case is, let's just say you have this new link, and maybe you write an article, short form content, and you publish it through your email newsletter to existing clients or through LinkedIn, and you say, hey, interest rates have fallen to all-time lows. I now offer whole life policies that have 6% dividends. Click on my link to browse and learn more. And people who may or may not know you, they Google search or see this on social, they think, 6% dividends on my savings. That's pretty interesting. And they're a lot more inclined to click on the link because it doesn't entail a Zoom meeting as a prerequisite. They can do it anytime, right? Low commitment. So they click on that, and this is what would happen if they click on that. So we execute this link, they see this, and this is your customized customer experience. And all they have to do, with or without your presence, most people do without a broker's presence. They just have some kind of content that they read beforehand. They click start. And let's just say they read about maybe great whole life policies, right? So they click conservative cash accumulation. That's what I'm interested in permanent life insurance. And by the way, we have term life insurance as well. So if they're interested in just the cheapest, fastest term life, they can always click term.
Cool.
So let's just say back in the whole life scenario, they say, hey, I want higher yield saving on a monthly basis. David, I want to save about $2,000 a month. I'm a male consumer. Let's just say I'm 32 years old. I'm in excellent health. I'm not a smoker. So that was like 6 or 7 clicks in under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And now they're able to view all these top policies from the best carriers in the country of these product categories.
And the client, it's the customer, the prospect that's at this screen right now, comparing the different options that are available for whatever product they're looking at, right?
Exactly. And in the past, if you happen to, successfully procure a prospect, that you would have to show them some kind of carrier illustration. And that would entail either you doing hundreds of data entry in another manual software that's not client facing, putting in a PowerPoint pitch deck, so that's 20 plus hours easy, or having your own back office do that, so that's on your payroll, or asking a carrier to turn it around in 7 working days, of which you might lose the sale. Instead of doing all that, the customer makes one click view illustration, and it's here, male, age 32. It's exactly to their spec.
Wow.
You have all the contract language, you have the product performance, we have all the pages. Go to Guardian, so you can see this is not generic to any client. This is specifically for this client's input. So you can see that there's also dividend history. So this person who views this whole life policy for the dividend income, they're probably interested in the dividend history instead of forcing you to Google that on Bankrate and make it into a pitch deck.
Right.
Why don't you let them browse interactively? They can benchmark against anything that they want here. They can benchmark different carriers. They can compare the two carriers using compare plans, just like car shopping. And this again saves you dozens and dozens of hours every time they do that. They can browse and compare between cash value and death benefit performance. They have credit rating, minimum guarantees, current dividend, everything in one. They have advanced analytics, risk adjusted return of products that you're offering versus other alternatives, risk and volatility history. These are all based on actual historical returns. A term versus permanent life insurance comparison of the data from the same carrier, so that if they ever say, hey, I heard or read on NerdWallet, maybe term is a better choice, you instantly can let them see the data for themselves. And you and the client can have a conversation and make the interpretation, right? On the right-hand side, just for convenience, they can also see other non-insurance alternatives. And obviously, the greatest insurance products are almost always a better choice, these alternatives. And another great use case here is, let's just say a lot of times you give the clients your first product proposal, right? And the customer says, David, this is great, but I think this is maybe even better suited for my dad's retirement account. This seems to do better than his 401k. Can you show me what it would be for him? And in the past, you were stuck with another 2-week turnaround and then trying to get that person on the calendar. Not anymore. Let's just say my dad is 59. I type in 59 here, and maybe he's a more aggressive investor. He wants index-based policies for retirement income. You apply filters. You see the index universal life carriers here. You view illustration. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you see that it is exactly to the spec.
Wow. It's great. So just imagine how easy this is for you guys out there that have other things going on and can have people pop into this right away.
Yeah, and you can either do smoking status, apply filters, see different rates. If the customer or you feel like, hey, I'm just really looking for the cheapest term possible, whole life or permanent life in general is a little bit too much for me, no problem at all. You go to term, you type in your coverage, apply filters, bam. Here are all the greatest filters for smoker. If you're a no smoker, here are your non-smoker rates. So this is an instant customer experience attached with an automatic CRM that requires no manual logging and a live chat, you'll see. So let's see. Yeah, so if the customer, after browsing for any amount of time that they like, in any amount of multiple or single visits, they can choose one or multiple policies. And what happens next is really cool, because this isn't just a quoting engine, although we do quoting really well. But most quoting engines, they'll give you a quote, but then it's up to you to collect their information and try to reach out to them, right? So it becomes an agent chase customer relationship again. Not anymore. Customers, after browsing, can select one or multiple policies. They click next. They can continue to apply online with a self-service online application, but most of the time after viewing a lot of good information, they want to work with a professional and answer some of their questions and have a conversation. And if they click that, there is no need for you to reach out and try and get their information. Because as soon as they click work with a professional, they will see your contact information.
Hmm.
And they can click live chat, call, or request a call, or drop an email right here to your email inbox without having to open another tab or email. And this is significant because in the online world that we know today, anytime you can save 1 or 2 more clicks, that's a lot of conversions. And
Right.
with live chat, that saves so much friction. So for example, I see that David provided me this great experience, and now I want to talk to David about what I just saw. I don't have to call David. I don't have to leave in, my information in a contact form. David doesn't have to even call me. I just say, "Hey, David, saw a lot of stuff, was good, and have some questions." And if I feel happy with my conversation and leave David a good rating, David will see instant feedback. I can attach any amount of attachments as a consumer. But what's even cooler is for David, who may be anywhere right now, maybe on a beach in Hawaii, right? He sees that there are customers trying to talk to me about this Mass Mutual policy. And David can instantly say, "Hey, nice to meet you here. Here are some helpful information." And David can either attach his own content with context that he has here on the left side, or he can use his pre-made marketing materials from the life insurance carrier chosen, sent out in one click. There's no need to attach. There's no need to follow multiple email threads. You can send these in one click. You can view the document history, and all the chat history here is saved under client conversations. So you can
Cool.
see every single person he's talked about, what product, what attachments, while working from anywhere. This person can also talk to David about Guardian Life, so you can keep the different product conversations separate. And once you two feel like you've had a good conversation, the consumer can then go, "Okay, David answered all my questions. I'm feeling really good. I'll continue with my online application." And it's very easy. It's like this. They give you their very basic information. We collect most non-sensitive information, and we exclude social security number, so it's not sensitive. They feel pretty safe. So the system does all that for you. You don't have to be present. They enter this. It's on the high security, bank grade security cloud on Amazon Web Services. And then you see this on your backend as the agent, what they filled out, view application, and all the information that you need to then do the final step of the sales process. Go to dashboard, say this person is ready for an e-app. You go to the e-app button, you click and you say, "Okay, this is their information. If there's anything missing, the system will tell you." And then when you're ready, you click on the e-app for that carrier, you enter the information, the carrier begins the medical underwriting process by sending them an email, and the carrier takes it over from there. Your job is done. So basically your job is to, promote this link, get some clicks, answer questions, and the carrier takes over from there. And iLife takes care of everything in the middle. And one other cool feature that consumers can use if they want to, although it's not required, is that let's just say I visit David's online experience and I fill out this information and I talk to David. I say, "Hey, David, is there any way I can, shorten the underwriting wait time or, potentially bypass the medical exam?" And David can tell me, "Well, if you want the best chance to bypass a medical exam, all you have to do is go to your consumer dashboard, which you only need a phone number to do, and click connect my medical records." And if you do that, so for example, all you have to do is get started, healthcare provider. So I see my doctor at Stanford. So I would type in Stanford search, systems has Stanford Health. I click, I sync up my information, and then I can now attach this to a carrier e-app. And that way, the carrier has as much information upfront as possible to give the client and you the best chance to bypass the medical exam.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that's a lot of functionality built into one, so you don't have to constantly juggle between different software. Yeah, so that's about it, David. So this is how our software works. We try to keep it really simple, and we try to do as many things as possible in one interface.
Question. So for right now, and this is evergreen content, so it'll be around for a while, but right now, the available carriers, can you go over those, which ones we use, and then what agents can do if they don't have access to those carriers right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're currently working with four of the top 10 carriers in the life market. That's Mass Mutual, Guardian Life, Pacific Life, and John Hancock. And more specifically, Mass Mutual and Guardian Life are absolutely the market leaders in the whole life section. They're one of the only, they're two of the only four insurance carriers in the entire country that's rated AA plus, which is the same as the US government itself. Pacific Life and John Hancock are specialized and market leaders in index universal life and term. And if you're already contracted with those carriers, obviously that's great. If you're not, no problem. David and us here at iLife can help you get their appointments. The appointments usually take no longer than 24 hours to turn around. It's really we connect you with the carrier, send you an email to get appointed, and it's all self-service online. Super easy as long as you have a license.
Right. Do you foresee an expansion of those carriers, or you'll add any more in the future? What's the outlook there?
Yeah, we certainly look to expand both the number of carriers as well as the product lines within the same carriers. We have new carriers inquiring to be added to our platform. Almost, I would say, not on a weekly basis for multiple carriers for sure, if not on a daily basis. People see this and carriers instantly know that brokers want to sell this way. They don't want to
Oh yeah.
go the old way anymore. And whoever is on here as a carrier is going to get a lot of traction.
Yeah, it's just, and it makes so much sense. It takes so much of that grind out that we're all used to, filling out applications, doing the whole admin side of this business. It's so much more simplified here, and it's very obviously very user friendly. You guys put a lot of, can tell, time in the user experience side of this thing, so that it's just easy, point and
Yeah,
click.
user experience and user interface particularly is something we put a lot of effort to invest in. We actually share investors with Zoom and Slack, which both are really user experience centric B2B software. So
Mm.
we get a lot of inspiration from their team and their investors.
Yeah, and I mean, even looking at this, one of the objections we see sometimes in this business is if there's tech out that an agent will use, the biggest obstacles is very commonly it's just not user friendly. It's very difficult to use or get set up, and there's a lot of, like you said, friction with even beginning to use it. This is so simple. Again, if you're a 6-year-old agent, PNC, and you got to book a business, and you're not very tech knowledgeable, how easy is this? I mean, this is way easier than some of the stuff I've seen out there. So that's fantastic.
Exactly. We see so much of the new technology, especially coming out of Silicon Valley, requiring all kinds of APIs,
Right.
integrations, your own back office. And, we think that's not the right approach because, you're really busy running your business as it is. It's not really making things easier by forcing you to also become a software developer and understanding how an API works. I think it should work like an appliance. You should just buy it, click a
Yep.
button, plug it in, and it needs to work.
And work it does. That's great. Nelson, there's anything else we need to cover here regarding iLife and how this program works? It sounds like we've got everything. It's simple, but gets right to the point of what we need, which is an easier process to sell more insurance.
Exactly, exactly. I think I covered everything on my end. Always happy to be back here, answer any questions you have.
Well, good. So, guys, if you're watching this and if this is something you're interested in, of course, I'm partnering with Nelson and iLife on an affiliate basis. So I should have a link either above or below this video that will take you to learn more about this product and how to get signed up, as well as how pricing works. So if you're interested in that, I highly encourage this. This is going to be revolutionary for some of you out there, and certainly ease some of the pains of this business by using this product. So click that link below or above in order to learn more. And Nelson, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for explaining iLife to us.
Thank you so much for having us, David. We'll see you again
Yep.
soon.